So let us start with today's session. So we will not take it as a demo, but I will give you some good amount of knowledge, at least a starter knowledge. So at least you understand what is data science, Gen AI, etc. So the entire session will be or is structured, or the agenda is in this way. We will talk the introduction, then the importance of data science and Gen AI, data science lifecycle or a framework, then why it's important or it's good to integrate data science and Gen AI both together, how it helps us, the challenges and considerations we have to make while working with that, then opportunities we have if we learn data science with Gen AI, the conclusion, and at the end, couple of bonuses. And at the end, after the bonuses, you will have a small surprise. Okay, that I will disclose at the end if you stay till end. So let us start with the data science introduction. I know all of you have joined here to learn or to see what is data science with Gen AI, and I believe most of you have did some research on data science, what exactly it is, and that's how you got into this particular demo. That's what I believe, or at least you heard from your friends or somewhere that it has a lot of potential, and data science is this, Gen AI is this. So let us understand that first. So what is data science? It's a data-driven insights using technique like statistics, machine learning. So what exactly it means? So it means that you use statistical techniques, or for that case, the machine learning approach. Okay, you use a statistical technique or machine learning approach or AI to get some insights from the data, or to use it for some predictions, or for that case, you use it for the making some decisions. Because when you have a data, it contains a lot of information. And if you are able to extract the information from the data, and that is useful for you and the business also. For example, if I say I have a column called gender, and it has a gender M. So all the values in this column has a value called M. So the question lies, does this particular column giving us any information? No, it does not. Because the data does not have any variance. The variance means the change in the data, or if you go more in terms of statistical, the spread. The spread of the data point from a mean is called a variance. So that is too technical, but let us limit us to a layman term. So variance is talking about if we have any change in the data, but the data has no change. It means it does not have much information, no information. On the other hand, you have a data, same gender, which is a combination of male, female, male, female, male, male, female. Now this has more information than this gender, this particular column where we have all the males, because the data is varying, and when the data is varying, you can do some analysis of that. Understand how many males we have, how many females we have, and with this column, the gender, if I have more columns, you can understand how this gender is segregating the other columns, so how it's impacting. Okay, so that's a more or less statistical approach I've shown you. The machine learning approach is where you understand that I need to make a decision or do a prediction. Example, a person has some lab report. You would like to analyze it and tell him that whether he is a positive or negative. This is something which machine learning helps you to do it. But before generating the results, you have to do a lot of cleaning, data cleaning. Then you say do some statistical analysis to understand it. And after that, you use machine learning to get you the next part of the goal, which is decision making. Okay, so this is how, or this is what a data science is. Some of you have a confusion that we talk about AI and data science, and both are used interchangeably, or you say ML or data science. People have confusion on that. What is what? So let me, the left circle is AI, the right circle is data science. Under the AI bucket, you have your ML. In that, you have your deep learning. And if you go deeper into that, then you have your LLM models. But a data science is not entirely the AI part of AI. It has some intersection. Certain techniques we use in AI will be used by data scientists, and certain techniques we use in data science is used in AI. So it's an intersection. Okay. So first out we have that whether both are same, different. Now here I would like to explain you that how different they are and how similar they are. Okay. Now let us move to the next part. We understood what is data science, the difference between AI and data science. We understood that and machine learning, deep learning is part of AI also. It's a subset of AI. The next is GenAI or a generative AI. What is it? It's a subset of AI that creates a new content like text, images, or code. As the name suggests, generate or generative means you're generating something. The most popular GenAI tool is a chat GPT. It's very popular. Nowadays, we have a DeepSeek, Grok, Gemini, and I think nowadays you see a more number of ads running on Gemini because Google is trying to push Gemini very hard into the market. So the people start using it. And the other models we have, ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, DeepSeek. We have a stable diffusion for creating images such as DALI, which is again a part of OpenAI for images, etc. So now we understood data science, what is GenAI. The next question lies, why to integrate them? Why to integrate them? And what's the need of integrate them? How it benefits us? The first point to integrate them, it enhances decision making with better data insights. Being why I'm saying it will enhance the decision making if we integrate both data science and GenAI. Because being a human, when you do the data analysis, there might be chances that you might forgot to do certain kind of analysis. So now being a human, you got a project where you start with the data analysis first to understand the data. There might be possibility while doing that analysis, you forgot to do certain kind of analysis. Example, you did not do the feature important or not feature important. Let's say you did not do did not understand standard deviation or quantiles for the data. You missed it somehow because of the deadline or so, whatever reasons. And it might have this kind of things might happen being a human. But when you pass or use the GenAI, it does not forget what analysis or it does not miss all the analysis and it gives you the output in couple of minutes. So basically, when you do the analysis, it might take a lot of time to do the analysis. But GenAI, if you use the GenAI, it does it very fast. If you're taking here 30 minutes, the GenAI with integration, it might give you in 1 or 2 minutes max the same analysis. It might give you more points which you never thought of covering it. So it is just adding a benefit, or you can say it's a magic wand you have in your hand where you are speeding your work, making your work very comfortably, and it is giving you a lot of ease while doing the work. That's why we say it helps enhancing the decision making. The next is automate repetitive tasks. So now you worked on a project, you did similar kind of analysis. Now you're working on a different project. Again, you have to do the analysis. Again, you're working on a different project. Again, you have to do the analysis. So same in any of the projects that data analysis part of being a data scientist is more or less same. 1%, 1 or 5% steps might change, but most of the steps are same. So you're doing the same thing again and again, but using the GenAI, you can automate that process. Now the next thing is address challenges like missing data or report generation. What exactly it means? So when we have a data, and in real time, you don't get 100% neat and clean data. The data will have missing values. The data will have certain wrong data type assigned to it, data inconsistency. All those things will have in the data. But The machine learning help us to tackle these things faster. Even we can do without the Gen AI being a data scientist, we can do it. But in today's world, the main challenge is not whether you can do it or not, but the main challenge is whether you can do it faster, deliver it faster. And when you integrate the Gen AI with it, you do it faster because it does the thing automatically. The time you take to do something, suppose it's 1 hour, then Gen AI is doing in 3 minutes or 5 minutes. And that's how you get the edge in the market when compared to other data scientists. If you integrate Gen AI with data science. I hope so far it's clear. Any questions? Okay, anyways, let me move forward. So we understood why to integrate them also. The next part is the life cycle or the framework. What are the steps we have to follow when we are doing a data science project, or what are the steps we have? So that is these steps. What is that? The first is a problem definition. Okay, what is the problem definition? So when a client comes to us or a person comes to us stating that this is my problem, that is his problem. But we have to further analyze and understand what exactly the problem is, what are the root cause of the problem, and who are impacted with that problem, etc. And that's how we make a good understanding on the problem, or you can say this is a problem definition or business understanding. If you have this understanding, then you have a clear picture that what solution you have to provide to your client, or for that fact, if you are seeing a problem, that what kind of solution I have to build. That clarity you will get it. After having that clarity, the next clarity is the data collection. So what it means, so the word is simply data collection. It means you're collecting data from the different sources. Now you suppose you have 3 sources. And based on your business understanding, you say my end goal or the data on which I can work, that is, I can get that information from data source 1 and 2. So I don't require 3. So you extract the data from those 2 data sources. And the data source might be your on-prem system, your cloud, or your Parquet files, or a CSV file, anything based on how the client is maintaining the data. The next is data pre-processing. So when you get a data, and I think most of us have a technical experience, we understand when we get a data, there are good amount of chances. And for others who are freshers, I will tell you, when we get a data, raw data from any of the sources, there are good amount of chances that some data is corrupted or some data is missing. It might happen, and it happens always. So for that situation, we can't use the raw data as is because the data inconsistency is missing data, etc. Those things we have to take care during the data pre-processing. We said pre-processing because here we are not doing the main processing of the data, but we are just cleaning the data. That's why we are saying it is a data pre-processing. Here we are not only cleaning, but sometimes if we have missing values, we are imputing the missing values. It means we are filling the missing values. After that is done, we do the data understanding. So here we do all our statistical analysis or what other kind of analysis we would like to do and understand the data. We do it here. Okay, 1 minute. Someone had a Karthik. So I'm taking a pause. Karthik has asked one question, so don't mind. Is this session for developing AI on our own, or is it just intended to use AI to assist with tasks? So Karthik, it's not AI, it's generative AI. So when you say AI, you're talking about a bigger umbrella. So we are specifically using generative AI to automate our data science activities and make sure we are delivering faster than slower. So in this, we will understand the different concepts of generative AI also. So that I will let you know when I will show you the course schedule. So after understanding, doing the data understanding, the next part is feature engineering. Why feature engineering is important? A small and simple example. Now you have 2 columns, height and weight. Okay. So can I do something because of which I can make this column into 1 column? Can I do something? Anyone? Any suggestion? I have a height and weight data of individuals. Can I do something to make it a single column? BMI? BMI defines, right? BMI needs a height and a weight to define a BMI. So I can club this thing, make a new column, which is called BMI. And it tells more about a person's health rather than individually. So in this situation, I have created a new feature called BMI, and this is nothing but called as a derived feature because we derived this one from these two columns. And this is the one of the techniques in feature engineering. So we apply such kind of techniques to create a new columns. Okay. And next is the model building. So now you build your model, means you choose the algorithm based on your business goal, and you train the different algorithms and you get a model as an output. After you get a model, you evaluate the model, you verify the model. Okay, you verify the model whether the output I got is it good enough or not. If it's yes, then you go for the deployment. After doing the deployment, you have to present that results to the end users because being a developer, you know what exactly you have done and what the number represents. Now you put it in a dashboard so the end users can understand. After that is done, you monitor it continuously because whatever pattern or whatever pattern or purchasing or some patterns human follows today might change in the future. The future might be 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, 10 years, but it does change. So that's why you have to monitor continuously. And if you if you see a change, again, you have to reevaluate your business understanding. Then this cycle goes on. Okay. Now the next part lies how data science and GenAI integrate. So previously we understood why to integrate. Now we will understand how to do that. First, the reason to do it. First is synthetic data generation. Example, now you have a data which is imbalanced. Imbalance means now you have, let me take the gender ones. You have male, 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 and female. Let me add a couple of more. So by seeing this data, you can see that the males number is more than the female. So here this data is bit of biased. So if you take it to the model and take it to algorithm and train it, will lead you to the biased output. Means it is more inclined towards the male rather than female. So for such kind of things, you have to generate some data, dummy data, and that generation you can do using the generative AI. Plus, if you have a missing data, now here we have suppose a prices to I don't have a data 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then a blank. Now I have missing data. So you have to impute this missing data also. For imputing the missing data, you have to generate a data. Even that generation, the GenAI will do it automatically. So you don't have to code it and do, bang your head to do it. Next, automatic reporting. So using GenAI for insight summarization. So you pass your insight, your data, it gives you the summarization. So enhance predictive models. What it means, improving prediction with the generative AI data. So you can improve it. How? Now suppose you have only 100 data points, and that might not be good enough to train your algorithm or train your model or get your model. So what to do? You need to have certain size of data, be it be 100, 200,000, based on your different domain. So that thing generative AI do that generation, and when you have good amount of data, and that data, this data which is generated belongs to the same distribution. Okay. So in that case, your model will be improved, which means your predictions will be improved. And next is augmented visualizations, building dynamic AI-driven dashboards. So when you integrate both things, you can do these things using GenAI. Suppose these things you have to do it manually. It eats a lot of your time. But now, after the integration, after Doing the handshake with GenAI, it is becomes simple and easy. Now, the key benefit of this integration, efficiency, means you can do it faster. Innovations. Now, most of the time, you don't spend on coding and doing the analysis. GenAI is doing it. You have a good amount of time to think out of the box things and implement it. Next is scalability. So, with this GenAI integration, you can do a large amount of data analysis quickly. Previously, you might have to take a lot of time, and when you lot of time, but now it is taking less time. And when you work with the large data easily because of GenAI, it means you are easy or you can scale your model easily to big data, and that's how the scalability it helps. Now that's everything is fine, understood why to integrate, how it benefits, etc. But how difficult it is to learn or how easy it is to learn. The first thing you require a programming language, either a Python or a R, because these are the two programming languages which are famous in this domain. And out of these languages, out of these two languages, the Python is the topmost and the R comes next. Okay. So the first things in the learning curve is the programming language, Python or R. Python is the dominating and the R is the second dominating language in this area, in this domain. The second is skills required for generative AI. What are the skills? So you need to have a AI/ML knowledge, the basics, the foundation knowledge. Then you need to understand the GAN or a GPT net, a GPT, and then you need to have some understanding of LLM architecture. It's not mandate, but it's good to have because I believe you will not stop your career only after learning how to use generative AI, but you would like to grow in career and go to the higher levels. For that thing, understanding the LLM models, LLM architecture will give you that push. The next thing is the challenges you might see in this particular generative AI and data science. What are the challenges? So in generative AI, the first challenge is the resource intensive computation. So if you heard about this ChatGPT, which is very famous, so they have mentioned that when they did this training, they had to spend millions of dollars because the amount of or the quality of infrastructure or hardware required is costlier because it has to handle the high computation. And laymen like you and me can't do that. We can do to certain extent, but after certain uh, level, it's very difficult to do. Now, suppose you starting with 100 columns, that's good. 200 columns, that's good. But what about 1 million, 1 billion features? So generally in data science, we see it as a feature. So what about 1 billion features? Can your system process it? It can't. You need to have a good, big hardware to support it. So that's a resource intensive computation. That's what the first challenge. The lack of understanding GenAI techniques among professionals. So this is the second challenge. They know how to use a chat GPT passing a prompt. They know I pass a prompt, I get information, but they don't have clear understanding what in what form you have to pass your prompt or what structure we have to pass to get very effective answer. Or as they don't have a basic clarity on the architecture, the LLM architecture, they are not able to use it properly. So that's a current second challenge we see in the market. The data privacy and security concern. What is the data privacy and security concern? Now, when I'm using generative AI to do the data analysis, I have to feed the data to it. That this is my data, do the analysis. And when I do so, I'm sending the original data to my generative AI. And if the data is not confidential, that's fine. If the data is confidential or it is PII information, personal identification information, then it's a problem. So once it's gone to the generative AI model, it learns from it. It means it has the data factor. That means it is breaking the GDPR norms. So GDPR norms is for the European countries. So they are, or we are not following that. Guys, just give me 1 minute. So it means it will break the GDPR norms, which says you can't share the personal identification information without the consent of the person. And when you have a data and when you're feeding to the generative AI model to get the analysis, you are doing that knowingly, unknowingly. Then how to mitigate it? Create a dummy data and then feed it, which follows the same distribution. In that way, you are feeding the distribution, not the data. And with that scenario also, you will get the same analysis because the distribution is same. So here I'm using a technical term called distribution. What exactly the distribution is? So now you see a data, it follows a normal distribution, suppose. So it represents a data. So these are the data points you have. Okay. Now, when I say I make a synthetic data out of it, means from this distribution, I pick some points. So these points I'm picking is not the original data, but it is a data from the distribution, which is a representation of this distribution, but not the same distribution. And that's how somehow you can, mitigate the data privacy issue. Okay. The next problem or challenge with this is ethical problem. What it means, generative AI sometimes generate the biased output, or it has the hallucination problem. It hallucinate. So whenever you get the output, it's your job to validate the output. You have to spend 5-10 minutes to validate whether the output is correct or not, because the generative AI might generate a biased output. The second is the quality and reliability of AI generated data. So whatever data you're generating through this means synthetic data, as I mentioned in this example, you have to validate that data, that output. And the last one, which is misuse of AI generated content. So nowadays we have seen in the social media, there are a number of videos going on that Trump is doing something, Biden is doing something, or some celebrity is involved in some, activities, etc. Those videos are popping up a lot in these days, and most of those things are generated using Gen AI, and we understand, and it's a fake videos. So the problem is with the misuse of this power given to a person who does not know how to handle it. So we should not fall into that bucket where we have the power, but we are misusing it. So with this thing, I think I'm getting a quote from Spider-Man movie which says, "Great power comes with great responsibility." So we need to be very responsible while using the generative AI. We should not misuse knowingly or unknowingly. So let us move forward. And I think this is the part where most of you might love to see. What is, these are the opportunities. Understand how many opportunities we have with data science. So now here I don't have the number, but the percentages which will at least give you an understanding after all the jobs in the market, technical jobs. There are 47.4% or round figure to 47% jobs related to data science only. And with this, at least we can see the potential we have if we learn the data science. And if we see the industry distribution, that which industry is generating most jobs on data science is a technology and engineering, where it's generating 28% of the jobs. Then human resource and employment, then financial healthcare and finance. And there are other industries in which we are getting these opportunities. So these are the only opportunities we are seeing when we are talking about data science. But if we integrate with Gen AI, and what Gen AI helps you, Gen AI helps you to do the data science activities faster and with ease. And when you are able to do something faster than other and with ease, will you get a lot of weightage? Yes or no? Yes, we get it. And that's how it, generative AI is a cherry on top of a cake, which make everything very good. So now with this, we can at least say that generative data science, generative AI open a vast possibilities for innovation. Why innovation? Because most of the time you have spent, initially you used to spend most of the time by for doing the analysis and etc. But now you will be spending less time on that and more time on thinking out of the box things. So encourage experiment because you have a good amount of time now. Plus, most of the time, you pass a prompt to GenAI and it gives you the output. You can try a different combination, different experiments. So that will give you a good amount of time to do the experiments also. And when you do experiment, you have a thought, you did experiment, and your proof of concept or that experiment proof of concept is seems to be good. Then you came up with a new product. But nowadays, if you don't integrate, then most of the time you spend on those activities. And next, it prepares for the future staying update with trends in AI. Okay. Now I spoke this all, but the first question lies: who is he who's speaking about data science with generative AI or generative AI ML? How credible he is? What is his authenticity? So let me introduce myself. My name is Vivek. I'm a principal data scientist with 16 plus years of experience in Fortune 100 companies and startup. So now I have experience in a Fortune 100 companies and worked at startup also. Now I know the pulse of both the industries. So startup culture is different from the established company's culture. Understand what they want because I did have intensive work and I understand what startup requires. So with that, at least I can help you to at least get to a certain level where you can understand what startup requires, what kind of skills we have to groom ourselves on, and what kind of expectations they have, and what kind of expectations the Fortune 500 or 100 companies has. So now in this course, I have inculcated both the knowledge. So at the end of the course, you at least are equipped with all the tools and techniques and ammunition to work in a startup or work in a Fortune 500 companies. But the second question lies, Vivek, you have introduced yourself. Yours, the entire career seems promising, but what credibility the institute has? What is this institute? So let me introduce the institute, which is Visualpath. It is also has 16 plus years of experience in this training, learning, and development domain. It started in 2007, and since then it has made a lot of difference in a lot of students' career, students' life by enhancing their skills, by helping them getting a new jobs and guiding. And Visual Path, we generally guide people to get their goals, to achieve their goals, and we support and we do hand holding throughout the journey, so they don't feel left alone. So with that, the next part is a bonuses. What bonuses I will get it? First, you will be getting a couple of mock interviews so you understand or gauge your knowledge. So we have learned everything, but we don't know how the interviewer does ask the question or what kind of question he asks, what kind of scenarios he might ask. So these mock interviews help you to prepare for that. And just to let you know, I have taken more than 500 interviews in my entire career. Not in the entire career, in the last 4 years. In my entire career, it's more than 1,000 interviews I've taken. And I've seen different people and different kind of group who have a different expertise, while when they are in the interview. So I will use that entire knowledge I have acquired so far in my career while taking the mock interviews. And this mock interview, it's not only me who takes it, but there will be industry experts also who will be joining and taking this interview. So now you will be getting the feedback not from one mind, but from more than one brain who are in the same data science domain. Then we will be providing you a free Python basic course. And then we will provide you a mentorship call also. Because throughout the journey, as it's a new domain for you people, there are up and downs. And we understand when we start our career or journey, it's not a linearly growing graph, but it's a up and downs like a roller coaster. So you enjoy till you go here to the top of that. But people do get demotivated when there is a downfall. And I'm talking in the data science where you in the initially where everything is easy, you enjoy it. When it reaches to the difficulty level, then you feel demotivated. And for this particular area, when you feel demotivated, this mentorship call will help you to bring back your motivation. The next thing is crafting your LinkedIn profile and resume. And why I'm giving this last point as a compliment or a bonus, because I've seen many people, even I faced, that if your resume is not good enough, or it's not attracting the hiring partner eyes, or if it's not able to getting screened positively from a screener, a resume screener, you have a no chance to stand in the crowd. So this plays an important role. And nowadays, most of the HR professions are searching for the profiles in a LinkedIn. So your LinkedIn should speak about your expertise, and you should market well in the LinkedIn profile. That's a reason I'm saying the LinkedIn profile. And now a lot of talking happened. Okay, I spoke a lot, but now it's about the surprise, the real demo. So let me take you to that. Let me refresh it. So this is a small AI tool I have prepared, which will analyze the data. And for preparing this thing, it hardly took me 45 minutes. It's not 100% done, but I can feed the data, upload my data, and get insights. So here I'm uploading my data. Let me choose different data which has good amount of, yeah. So as soon as I loaded, I could see the data. Now I am using a generative AI insight. So I have integrated OpenAI API with this button, and when I click it, it's processing it, and it will give me the insights about this data. So let it generate. Okay. Meanwhile, this data is generated. Ashish has asked, okay, let me check any questions. Okay. Can you show a demo that I'm doing it? So now I will answer all the questions. Just give me 2 minutes. Let me give the demo, and then we can. So now it has generated the insights. And we generated it manually? No. I've used generative AI. I've used OpenAI APIs to do it. But you don't have to use OpenAI API. You have open source models also. We can use that to generate the insights. But as ChatGPT is famous, so I have integrated it just to show you people. But we have other ways of doing it. And OpenAI API is a paid one. It's not free of cost. Okay. Now I generated the insights. Now I would like to understand some part of it. So I've created one more button called Ask AI. Now I will ask the questions. It has generated the insight. Now I will ask the question. So can you share more analysis on, let us say, which column? Wheelbase. Base. Now it's processing. And to create this particular tool, again, I have used ChatGPT itself, generative AI, to help me. So if I sit and try to do it, it might take me 2 hours or 2.5 hours. But I could able to done this thing within 30 to 45 minutes. So now I asked a question on the data, and it has given me some insights. The wheelbase of vehicle is the distance between the center of this. The range of wheelbases given data set is varies from 88.6 to 99.8. So it is generating some insights, right? And this is very simple tool I have made it, but you can add more functionalities to it to make it more robust for a data analysis. And then you can generate, let me do one thing. Can you create scatter plot? So I'm asking that create a scatter plot between wheelbase and car length. What exactly does it give me? The code itself. So if you write this code, it will eat couple of minutes, right? Now you have the code, you directly do a copy paste. The next part is integrating this output with this visualization, which is not completely done, but we can further integrate the output to the visualization. This is very simple demo. I'm just showing it to you, but you can add the complexity layers. So I'm just telling you the foundation. I just gave you the foundation. Now you can build your own, uh, villa, or you can own, high-rising building, anything. Clear?